Hey, my name is Dr. Theresa Michael, and I am back with Rutuja Purohit. And Rutuja Purohit is doing a PhD in human rights, seeking out to reform civil rights for the women prisoners. So, Rutuja, tell me something. In the earlier session, when you were taking the pledge, I
Yes,
saw Rutuja, you know, looking more calm and looking more soulful, looking more loving, looking more kind. When before we were taking the pledge, you were looking like that dynamite. Yes, I'm the go getter and all. But as we were taking the pledge, you know, the spelling of pledge is Pledge. When you take a pledge, you automatically feel the peace. You automatically get the spirit of love.
mm,
You automatically see it in everything. You automatically
yes,
want to do good things.
yes,
So the G is the good, and the E is again ensuring that all the things that I have declared, I am going to do it in a peaceful and a proper way. So I see
yes,
that
definitely.
aura around you right now.
Okay, that's great. So definitely, as you said, the pledge was very impactful, very nice, and as we were gradually moving and saying each and every line, I really hope that we have a chance and opportunity to actually do all these things and create an impact again in the community. So going ahead, as you were asking me about my objectives, and I mentioned one of the objectives was to find out the reason or the causes that why women prisoners are increasing. No doubt that prisoners every year are increasing as per the statistics, but my focus is only on the women prisoners because, as I said, when we study about the jurisprudence of women, she has been treated as a goddess. And mythology has always said that when a woman in a house is happy, the entire family is going to be happy. Or when a woman is educated, she'll educate the entire family. So, keeping that motto in mind, I feel if we are able to create an impact in the life of a woman, indirectly, she's going to have a very huge impact on the entire society. Therefore, women prisoners. Moving ahead, my next objective is like once we understand the reasons why the prisoners are landing up in a prison, the next thing is reformation. Like without wasting time, that why did you do this crime? Our focus should immediately be shifted to that the moment you are inside in a jail, it should start working for you as an educatory school, as an education school or a reformatory school, where your period of punishment is not getting wasted, but it should be effectively utilized for giving you proper reformative trainings. So, as you said, ma'am, identifying their small skills is going to be our responsibility because many a times they themselves will not be aware of their own strength. So, making them understand that yes, you definitely have something good in yourself and figuring it out and making them more positive towards life, more positive about their own strengths and skills should be the focus. So my personal opinions are we really need a lot of psychologists in a woman prison. Right now, I feel that is missing. So we need to treat them as patients, which we generally say in books that criminals are patients and they should be treated in the like manner. But then there is a lack of psychological transformation does not happen. So, in fact, what I have read and understood so far is you get into a different trauma. कि अभी लोग क्या कहेंगे? You have that social stigma. If a mother is having a child and the child is outside, she is constantly back of the mind thinking of her child that what is going to happen to him now. And the laws in India say that you can have child with a woman prisoner up to 6 years, which I feel is really not sufficient. So it is not like that he immediately after 6 years the child starts feeling that now he can be independent and he does not need his mother or family. So there should not be an age criteria as such that only up to 6 years you can be with the mother. Second is, in fact, having more provisions where they have connections with their family members. So, though we are saying that it is a punishment and you should be inside and you should be away from your family members, I think that triggers and that feeling of taking revenge will be even more. So, we need help of psychologists. We need a lot of counseling sessions for the women prisoner, much more than a male prisoner. And we need to figure out their strengths and their small skills so that they are confident that even if they come out from here, they will be able to survive, they will be able to earn money. And I think that is something very important. Like once you know that you can earn money for yourself, that is going to build up your confidence. Because when you don't have money in hand, you are totally helpless. You even if you want to do anything, you cannot do. So they should get that confidence that after coming out from prison, they have a better life, which I think they are fearful right now. कि यहाँ से बाहर आने के बाद क्या है? So because of the fear, they actually come in a comfort zone being inside in the prison itself. So the major focus, I mean, the second part of the research is focusing on the reformatory policy. कि चलो जो हो गया, past is past, but let's make sure कि your future can be better. And for that, I think we need a lot of help of community interventions. I'll use that word. Community intervention is needed because you cannot shift the entire burden on the state authorities or on the prison officials because they themselves are doing it as a job. They are not doing it as a passion.
Correct.
So we need people who have passion to intervene in between and actually do a lot of counseling sessions and tell them about their strengths. Make sure that they are doing those things when they are inside, so that even when they come out, these small things also they can start up. Like as you mentioned about coffee, it may be a tea plantation or it may be a tailoring activity, or there are hundreds of small skills and skill based jobs that they can have. And another thing which is very personal, that's my personal opinion. I think somewhere these people are away from spirituality. So I really feel that those spiritual touch is to be given when you are in a prison, because that is the only way which that you will be healed completely. So you require those two things. I feel we need to identify their skills and connect them to God, connect them, make them believe that there is someone higher to all of us. And if you believe, you can achieve it. So that is my personal opinion that I have found out that majority of the people who are coming from this background, they do not have that fear factor, or they have lost all the hopes and therefore they are doing it. So we need to rebuild those things that yes, God does exist. You need to keep hope in certain things. You need to be fearful about your actions that you're doing in present. And I think that is the only way to completely revamp them. Otherwise, the lack of spirituality can that it will be like I feel it will be void. That voidness is going to lead you to do more crimes and wrong things.
Correct. There is also another objective I would like you to include, because this is what I included in real time. Is
Okay.
whenever a woman is in jail, she has to come to visit the court.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, just give me a minute. 1 minute.
So we're still in conversation with knowing how we can improve the lives of women prisoners. What are the objectives? What is the subject? What is the object? What is the assessment? What is the plan? What are the things that we can inculcate in our daily lives, which we can go just take that one step for the benefit of all mankind? So I was explaining, Rutuja, is when women go to prison, there is a chance that they have to come out, where they have to seek for their bail or anything. And because I was staying exactly opposite the Pune Cantonment Court, the women would come in the bus, right, with all that protective gear, a hand, clenched to the handcuff over there. And the vehicle would be almost parked in front of my apartment because I live exactly opposite the court. And what was the most beautiful thing is to see 4 to 5 people, looking into that small window and trying to, give information to that woman who has missed so many days because she was inside, and tell them all that because they know that in that limited time, that woman is now going to be inside the court facing the judge, whatever the judgment is, or she'll be like, back again in handcuff, put again, and she's going to leave. So I have seen and witnessed a lot of women from all sectors in that bus. But at the same time, the most beautiful thing for me to do, and I felt and I still feel should be done, is to reach out to these people who are trying to put their hand into the window to give information,
Mhm.
to get a hold of these people and then take them over a cup of tea. चाय के
Mhm.
चर्चे मोदी साहब भी करते हैं. So when you take them over a cup of tea, we have a person which is called Anna who serves tea. My tea bill used to go to roughly around 30-40 thousand rupees because I would
Oh.
get a hold of those 4-5 people who are now waiting for the judgment, but not everybody is allowed to enter the court. So I would take them over for a cup of tea and I would explain to them that if you try these things, enough
Mhm.
chances that she will be able to come out. Because the family is the only one to know that my wife is innocent, my daughter is innocent, and that is the reason why they are standing there, correct? If it
Mhm.
was a hardcore criminal, nobody will be around, not even the father, not even the mother, automatically. But these are petty,
Everyone is doing
and petty criminals also are not because they committed a crime, because they love to commit crimes. The situation just made them a criminal.
it.
Getting these people
Mhm.
out and talking to them, it was basically very difficult because they feel हमारे पास लॉयर है, हमारे पास ये है, हमारे पास वो है. It reminds me of that अमिताभ बच्चन and शशि कपूर का डायलॉग, तुम्हारे पास क्या है, and everybody giving their opinion. But the best people I found is हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है मैडम आप बोलो. Got it? When there is nothing, then human rights comes into action because they've tried everything, they've lost all their money, they've lost everything, but they have not lost their respect. They've not lost that thing that we are ready to fight it out. And nobody is going to believe them. Neither the police will believe them, neither the thing. And some of these people are trapped for life. So getting these kind of people around in these small forums also helped to ensure that women who were not getting their property for many years because they were fighting the legal way, and the lawyers, they want you to be there for life, but family is our target. The targeting these people, I would love to take you to MG Road because you want to find that person who is like, ready not to, but he is ready to give his everything to you and say, Madam, आप बोलो अभी क्या करना है. That person is the person who becomes the messenger. He becomes your spiritual angel to give the information of human rights to the woman in trouble. And there we have another woman who comes back like the Rani of Jhansi. She must have gone in like a criminal, but when she comes back, she comes like the Rani of Jhansi, ready to fight for truth, ready to fight for justice, and ready to fight that nothing ever goes wrong in life. So, that is one part of the assessment that we would like to include in the plan. Plus,
Mm.
if you have heard of something which is called the Prema model, if you
No, I haven't.
the Prema model in your teachings of human rights, right?
Okay.
You said yes, psychologists must come, but the psychologist will come, he will talk about her thing and go. No, we have to fuse psychology and human rights together. Because if
Okay.
your mindset is right, wrong is wrong from the very beginning, there will be no crime in the whole world.
Yes. Correct.
Neither the man will have the guts to do something wrong, or but they will at least be seeking what is the right thing to do. They'll wait for it patiently. That maybe it is not the right time, but I will wait. Most of the crimes are are done because of impulsive thinking, right?
Right. Yes.
And that impulsive thinking, that person keeps feeding, and he'll wait very patiently to take his moment to strike. So that would be another part of the assessment that I would like you to look into, which of course we'll go in depth how to include the Prema model with human rights, how to include the United Nations to fight, to help you fight for the right. So, what if you're a single woman but you have got it in you? So we'll see how what are the things that we can bring in from the United for Human Rights to help you to make your cause a greater cause. Because what you're doing, Rasuja, is really very great. Now, these are the kits we give to all the teachers.
Okay.
So they can go to school and train. It explains
Okay.
every right, it explains everything from the beginning till the end in a very nice manner because we put a bigger picture because a picture speaks thousand words.
Right.
Your human right, we are born free and equal, but if I show you a picture and I will ask you, Rutuja, what can you read?
Freedom of expression. Freedom of expression.
Yeah, what can you see in the picture?
The picture isn't very clear to me.
But how big is the picture?
Almost half of the
It is
page.
almost the full page, and the human rights is written over here, and it is the right
Yes.
of freedom of expression. The
Yes.
picture shows uh, a person playing the piano.
Okay.
Now, keep
Okay.
this picture in
Okay.
your mind. Okay,
Hmm.
what is the picture, Rutuja?
A kid playing a piano, right?
Rutuja, in your life, at which age did you ever want to go and play in a piano?
I think that was quite recent. That too, because my son, who is 7 years old, he has a lot of passion for music. And so whenever he gets a chance, he keeps his hands moving on the different instruments. So that is how I developed an interest. And once I had taken him for a class, so not before that.
And so you fell in love with the piano.
Yes.
But during
Yes.
our time, we used to have a piano,
Okay.
the big one. And the
Okay.
minute we go next to it, there will be 10 people who will say, no,
Don't touch.
that's how we brought up in school, no?
Right.
When will we learn the freedom of expression? You waited till you
Yeah.
became independent. You saw that your son was moving his fingers. Instead of moving it on the table, let's bring a keyboard. You achieved your financial independence and you got the keyboard and you gave it to him. And now you are also very excited to see whether his sarigama is coming properly or whether his doremi, but your child doing it gives you how much of pride, right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
wrote a letter
Definitely.
to the founder of World Singing Day,
Okay.
and I told him, I said, we are privileged, we get to, buy the things that we like. But back in the village, these people do not have the privilege. They've not even seen
Mhm.
a piano, they've not even seen a guitar, they've not seen any of these things. He immediately sent
Mhm.
me $250.
Oh.
So a man who knows his human rights is generous. He gave $250. Whereas our Indian person, who is the world famous singer, when I wrote the same letter to him, and we're all a part of the same group, did not. So you do not
Mhm.
know who's your helper going to be. So we need to cut it out from our mind that we are Indians, they are Pakistanis, and they are Sri Lankans. Help comes from all over. And that is the reason why we call the human rights the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights.
Yes.
Right? And that is important. Whenever we are declaring the human rights, we always say it is declared by the United Nations. It's not declared by me. It's not declared by Rutuja. There's no Theresa Michael. It is a declaration. I am just a person like a angel, a messenger, a teacher, a principal who is going to ensure that every child that I know. I would love you to have this book given to your son also.
Sure, sure. Definitely, ma'am.
So we bought all the musical instruments. We gave it to the children over there. Trust me, they were making noise because
Oh.
little time they could not learn the chords and everything. And I was like, I'm not interested in harmony. I'm interested in noise. So with all the noise that they put up, we had
Yes.
their parents who came to watch the performance. And all the parents were crying with tears of joy, to see that, there is a future for our kids, and we would like to be a part of that future. So, would you like to
One more thing I would like to share. Yeah, like as you mentioned about this, I had also visited last year Juvenile Justice Board, which is in Yeroda itself. So there are criminals who are less than 16 years, less than 18, sorry, they are kept in a juvenile justice uh, board. So there I could interact with those students, and we had taken almost 20 students from our college who performed street play and different activities in the juvenile justice board. Also, our students had helped them to clean their campus. So that time when we interacted with them, there were few students who were quite good looking also. And looking at them, no one could feel that he has done a
Imagine,
crime.
yes,
So so I was very curious to know that why is he inside and what type of crime has he done. So officially they could not share it, but then when I interacted with the people over there, and we went quite a number of times, and when that trust was developed, she told me that he had murdered a girl.
oh my goodness.
And the murder was a very cruel one. After murdering, he had taken a video of that girl and he had circulated it on the social media. So it was a very heinous crime, and therefore he was inside. And then I said, okay, fine, but then why did he do? What about his parenting, his, schooling, education? And then we came to know that his father was a stepfather. So his mother was a doctor, and she got divorced. And after divorce, she got married to another man, and this boy started feeling left out. He felt that he's not even getting the mother's love, and neither the father's love. And because of those psychological problems, he started feeling lonely, and because of that, he committed the crime.
Absolutely.
So this is also one of the reasons where, when we talk about child and even the woman prisoner, I feel somewhere that those values and the bond, family bond, and all these things are missing nowadays. So the increasing number of divorces or the loss of those values is something which is having a huge impact on the next generation. So maybe the mother could find out a way by getting married, but the repercussions were on the child and his life and the girl who was innocent.
True.
She lost her life because of all of this. So this is something which I have seen the boy. So as you said that no one ever plans to be a criminal, but then the person who is the sufferer of this is equally innocent. मतलब उस लड़की की कुछ गलती नहीं थी. She was completely innocent. But now the family of that girl, they are just waiting for this boy to come out.
True.
Because again, as you said, revenge. So that is there in their mind. So even if he is left unpunished, or after 7 years he comes out from the jail, still his life is not going to be secure after coming out.
Yes.
So that is going to be having an impact on his life throughout. So it's going to be very risky for him. So I think there's a lot of psychology thing and psychological defects, which at times you don't know that you actually need a psychologist. So there are people who feel like going to a psychologist or doing counseling, they feel is like as if you have some problem in you. So getting a right help at right time is also something very important. If we could have counseled that child at that time when he started feeling lonely, maybe he would be a different person today. But then not seeking help is also a problem. So maybe, we should be able to tap such students through their schools who are feeling lonely, or they have some family issues and they're not able to share it with anyone else. So they should openly share it with some outsider.
True.
So I feel that is also a reason so that we can stop right in the beginning. All these things can be controlled.
Definitely, that must definitely be a part of the plan of your thesis, because when we normally talk about thesis in PhD, we talk about subject object assessment and plan. And this is how we operate it. We call it the SOAP analysis. I prefer not saying SOAP analysis, I prefer saying hope analysis.
Okay.
Because in hope analysis, I remove the subject, which is in SOAP, and I take the edge as happiness.
Happenings.
Because since he's committed the crime, he's already taken up his punishment. right?
Yes.
He has accepted, which is really very great, that I have committed a crime. I put it on video, I went viral, I did everything. I did the crime. 99.9% of the criminals will say, मैंने किया ही नहीं. I am innocent. I am not guilty. And in cases like this, I'm talking about the real cases, we do not send the person who has committed and accepted the crime